I realized that I wanted to make a change and a change for the better. I just really want women, no matter what your age is, to not be afraid of love, to not be afraid of life. Just embrace it. Looking to discover what it was that I truly wanted, what I truly needed, and what I truly deserved.
So I have the opportunity to talk to one of our lovely new brides, Stacie Newton Hunt. Oh my goodness, she got a new last name, y'all. New last name. So Stacie's a Jersey girl. Hey, AKA, all right, all the sorors out there, and also a brand new bride who juggles a job, right, as the AVP of marketing of a healthcare company. Okay, so this is not one to miss. So let's go in and dive into her story. Hi, Stacie.
Hi, Coach Cass.
So I see something different about you as you drink your coffee.
What's that?
You just brought a cup to your face, and there was something there that's a little bit different. Can you hold that hand up for me? Congratulations,
Thank
Stacie.
you so much.
Oh my goodness.
I made one whole month.
One whole month of being married.
Yeah, one whole month of being married.
Oh, so where you want to begin in the story here, Stacie? Where you want to begin?
I would say that you were in the wanted one. That was my first introduction to you was the wanted woman. And it was virtual because we were in COVID, and that was part of my journey to discovering what I wanted and what I needed. We were apart. My current husband and I, we were apart at that time. We knew each other, but we had kind of parted ways, and I was just trying to figure out what's next. I would say on my journey, the Real Love Network was certainly part of that. I came to the Real Love Network, I think it was 5 years ago, Coach Cass.
Really?
Yeah, I think it was five
Wow.
years ago. That's a long time.
Yeah.
After a breakup, and just really, looking to discover what it was that I truly wanted, what I truly needed, and what I truly deserved. And so I think my first event was the Wanted Woman. It wasn't a conference, but it was a whole day of presentations, activities, events. It was virtual, but because I wanted to know more and just discover a new part of myself, I participated. And it was from there that I joined the Real Love Network.
So tell me about how did the Real Love Network help you in identifying this man as a suitable partner? Yeah, because you said he was already in your life.
He was already in my life. We had dated for some time. Yeah, we had dated for some time. He met my family, but we just weren't on the same page in some ways.
So now what makes it different from like, the fact that you got girlfriends and you got sorors and you got people in your life? Like what made this different than you just, listening to a sermon and, leaving it to Jesus? Like what made this different?
Well, I think the content was different. I mean, I keep going back to the focus on self care, which is so important. You may not necessarily get that from girlfriends or your sorors or people that you meet on the street, but self care really is important to any relationship, whether it's with your sorors, your girlfriends, or even your family. Like that's prioritizing yourself. And in doing that, you prioritize the way you date as well. So it has a cascading effect, I think. And so if I had not participated in the program, perhaps I wouldn't have gotten that from my girlfriends. I still have my wheel. And I still do. I don't carry it with me as much as I used to, but the wheel and just it's focused on self-care, identifying your needs, being able to articulate what those needs are, I thought was my first step in really, discovering emotions that I was feeling, learning to communicate, and really learning how to express myself both in a relationship and outside of a relationship. So I would count that as part of my journey to really getting to where I am today. It's just really loving myself all over again and learning a new way. And self-care is part of that. Self dates is part of that. Now being a married woman for a whole month now, I discovered that I came to love and appreciate self dates. So now I've got to figure out, how do I continue to do that? And I think my husband will respect it, but he may not understand it, but I think he'll respect it. How do I continue to do things alone to nurture myself?
Mhm.
And what that looked like for me, I work very close to New York. So what it came to look like for me, City Winery has these little concerts at 6 o'clock. And because I'm a certain age, that's perfect for me. So I could make it over to the city, take myself to City Winery for dinner, enjoy a concert, Eric Benet, Layla Hathaway, and others, and be in my car by 8. And that was one of many ways that I learned to really nurture myself and listen to myself. What is it that I need? That's something that I wasn't necessarily doing before I joined the Real Love Network. And so that was my biggest takeaway, is why I need to take care of myself, not just pursue a relationship, but why I need to take care of myself first, number one.
Now, who reached out, right? Like, did he reach back out and say, "Hey, girl, can we try this thing again?" And you were like, "Well, let me think about it." Like, what is it that got you back in proximity?
I think what happened is he learned that I was going through some personal challenges, some real, like, serious challenges. And then I believe that and he would probably say the same, out of concern and, quite frankly, love, he reached out just to make sure that I was okay. As things began to become okay, we reconnected over dinner and just started to have the conversation all over again. And, together we discovered that nothing had changed. Those emotions, those feelings, none of that had really changed. But in fact, we both had to grow individually so that we could then be in a position to grow together. And that's how I feel like where we are. A lot of people say, don't spin the block. Don't spin the block. And while I agree in principle, I do think that people should get under the hood, if you will, and look at, is there something that has changed before you, in fact, spin the block? If those same issues are still there, maybe not worth your time, right? But at least dig in there and try to figure out, is this a better fit for me? What has changed? And don't be afraid to have those conversations, no matter how difficult they are.
So what you're telling me is this man he worked on whatever it is that bothered you before, right? Because
And I did too. Yeah.
right. So
Mhm.
essentially, we don't spin the block if the person is exactly the same with the same annoyances. Like, yeah, we'll always get annoyed, but the fundamental things that you guys were at alts with in terms of your relationship, you had
Mhm.
done individual work to come back
Yes.
together to
Yes.
say, okay, now I can hear you, I can see you,
Yes.
I can accept what I did wrong, you can accept what you did wrong, and we have both decided to work on these things together and acknowledge it. Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
absolutely. 100%. 100%. It required difficult conversations, uncomfortable conversations, I should say. But it was necessary. Like, how could we have gotten to this point without that, avoiding it? How could we have gotten it? You can't, right? So,
So how long were you, when you got back together, how long were you dating for before you got engaged?
about a year. Wait a minute. Yeah, about a year. About a year. Yeah. So
Okay.
we reconnected. We dated for about a year. It was my birthday weekend, and I had kind of knew it was coming because he had already asked my mom for her blessing. I thought I was getting it for Christmas. Christmas came. Christmas left. No presentation. Ah, the Valentine's Day came. Nothing. That would have been nice though, a Valentine's Day engagement. And then came my birthday weekend. Birthday dinner, nothing. So I was like, what did he have in mind? Because he certainly wasn't telling me. And then that Sunday we went to church and we came back, and I came back into the living room, and there was a big red bag on the table. And he said, "This is your last gift for the weekend." And that's exactly what it was. The ring, with the little light on it, the little light. That's so beautiful. So beautiful.
Ring, girl, that's nice ring.
Beautiful, beautiful ring. And what I didn't know is that he shared the ring with my mom before he presented it to me. And my mother's no longer here. She actually passed in June. And
Mm.
so, and they were able to connect their relationship and build a relationship outside of me that was just so beautiful. And we certainly do. Today I miss her a lot. They were able to develop a relationship, but what is sweet about this is that he developed his own relationship with my mom, with my family, that allowed her to see the ring before it even got to me. So,
Mm.
and she kept his secret too. She knew when he was going to do it, but she didn't tell her own daughter.
That's how it's supposed to go. Hello? That's
Yeah.
good. That's a good mama. That's a really good mama. I remember my mom was like, "Ooh, it's a good weekend for me to host Thanksgiving." I was like, "Wait, what? You never host." Right? That's how I ended up having a little inkling, right? Like maybe I should get my nails done. All right, so okay, so you got proposed to over a beautiful your birthday weekend. So what
Yeah.
made you say this is the one?
I think knowing his character and who he is, he's steady, he's grounded, he does what he says he's going to do. And he's always been like that. He never kept me guessing. He always showed up when he said he was going to show up. So he wasn't what it has never been that type of person that kind of was independable, undependable, and so that was enough in the beginning to attract me. Whenever he said he was going to call, he called to the minute. I'm going to call you after work. He would call me after work, and quite frankly, that was different from anyone else that I had ever. And I've been on a lot of dates, Coach Cass, a lot of dates, but that basic foundation was enough for me to want to see him again and again. He was consistent, still is very consistent. That works for me. After every date, he made it clear that he wanted to see me again. So I was never in a situation, where I was left guessing and wondering. I never had to ask him where are we going. Never. Never. May have wanted to, but I never had to question how he felt about me. And this time he definitely was even more intentional, I think, and purposeful. Even in the dates that we went out on, the way he approached my mom, even in the way that we planned our wedding, everything was with intention and purpose. And I wouldn't change that for the world.
So now, Stacie, is this your first marriage?
Yes, it is at 55. Yes, this is my first time being
Yo,
married,
the
second
time.
time
This
being
is the
engaged.
time. This is the
Yeah,
time. Yes,
yeah.
go girl. That's what I'm talking about. So I hear all the time, right? Women 40, 50, 60, 70, 75 that are like, oh, Coach Cass, I just need to, fall in love with my single self and just be single. Like I don't need a man. I don't need, I don't need marriage. I
Mm,
just want to be single. Just never mind. There's no love left on the earth. The fact that you have found love,
mm.
have gotten married at the age of 55 is just so beautiful. What would you say to that woman that is of a mature age, right? What would you say to her?
Well, I believe that one, there are some women who truly are single and whole and completely happy with being single and don't want to be married. That's wonderful. But what I would say is for women who know in their heart of hearts that they want love, they want to give love, and they want to receive love, don't be afraid to own that, because I think when you approach it with fear, that affects your ability to attract exactly what you want and what you deserve. So I find a lot of women who seem to make statements that are rooted in fear. Oh, I don't like the way he dresses, or I don't like the way he does his hair. And, those are superficial things, but we really need to look at the heart. Who is this person that is before me? What is it that I really want in the person that I ultimately want to marry? And I can honestly say that by participating in the Real Love Network, I made a list. I made 2 lists. Probably even made 10 lists because as I began to grow and know myself and get to know new parts of myself, that list changed. But what I will honestly say is that my husband hits all of the things that was on my list at the time. So he checks all the boxes for me. I just really want women, no matter what your age is, to not be afraid of love, to not be afraid of life. Just embrace it. And for those dates that just don't work out, well, now I know why some of these dates didn't work out. Just take it as that wasn't for me. That just wasn't the person for me.
That's good. That's so good.
Yeah.
So, question, people think it's strange, right? To get a love coach, to be a part of something like the Real Love Network. They've never heard of things like that. They're like, oh, well, I got my sorors, so I got my church mates, so I got my volunteer squad. Like, what I need this for? I watch Instagram videos all day long. Like, what makes this program or this community special as something that you would recommend to women, whether it be personally or professionally, right? Because I feel like the skills that you learn translate to every area of your life, but you can speak to that.
I think the one-on-one attention, because I remember you and I spoke one-on-one a few times, and just being able to have that sounding board to share details from a person who doesn't have a dog in the fight, but can really advise and recommend without bias, I think is one of the benefits. So just having the benefit of people who are on the same page and really pursuing the same path is why connecting with the real love network is important.
So, how would you say that this has impacted you at work? Like, what line of work are you in, or what position? You don't have to say your company, but it's like, what position are you in? Like, how many years you've been in your field? Like, how is this? Like, has this impacted your relationships at work, or how you show up at work, or promotions, or anything of that sort?
I think so. I think people have noticed how I've changed over the years. I've been with my current company since 2017, and I'm an assistant vice president for marketing in the healthcare industry. And people have noticed the change. People that I've known for 20 years, worked with for 20 years in the industry, have noticed how I've changed, how I typically do. I'm having a bad hair day today, but I typically do invest a lot of my time in making sure that my hair is, neat and clean, and that I have investments. I remember, didn't we talk about having like a capsule wardrobe, the capsule wardrobe to make sure that you present yourself in a refined and well-dressed way. So I took note of some of those things and began to put my wardrobe together and not be satisfied with just the 10 outfits, but how do I mix and match them? I actually went to a stylist at one point to get some suggestions on clothing to wear, and that was a game changer for me. So this was more than just, oh, I'm meeting with a dating coach. This was making an investment in myself that really transformed my entire life. And the end result just happened to be marriage, but I ultimately was able to transform my entire life by having access to information that I probably would not have been able to get simply by having conversations with friends.
So good. So good. So, if someone was thinking about joining the Real Love Network, which now we have transformed, right? So, we have a mindset coach, we have a grief coach, because so many women now have parents transitioning, or maybe they're grieving, where they are in terms of their relationships or their businesses. There's so many levels to grief, right? And also, we have a sexologist, because we want y'all to have great, great, pleasurable sex. And we've been through so many things that sometimes you just can't get there. Hello. Then we also have a trauma therapist, because we've been through some things, right?
Mhm.
And then there's me, right? So love coach and all that stuff. So we have a team now, and there's these beautiful group coaching sessions, and We also do one-on-ones, bonus one-on-ones with a concierge that could help the ladies find what trainings. Like we have live events. So we're going to Morocco. We're going to Antigua, not Antigua. We're going to Colombia. We have a live conference that married women come to, single women, dating women come to in October in Fort Lauderdale, just to be able to work on that self-care and how do you choose peace over chaos? How do you communicate with men? How do you communicate with yourself? How do you communicate with your boss? Like we have expanded since you've been a part of the Real Love Network, which has just been so beautiful. So what would you say to the woman that is considering joining us in the Real Love Network, our experiences working with me? Like, what would you say to that professional woman?
I would say try it. It's an investment in yourself. If I recall correctly, the commitment was just 6 months, right?
So now it's a 12-month commitment. So, and many women stay for over that because they realize that it's not just about getting the guy.
Mhm.
They like, listen, I now I need to figure out how to communicate with my man about this. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, right? So, actually, yeah. So the commitment is now a year, and the majority of the ladies they stay for multiple years because they're like, I'm getting such great info. Like, this is
Yeah, I
amazing.
would say it's helpful to have your tribe, and investing in the Real Love Network is one way of having access to a tribe, people that are probably having the same women who are having the same challenges as you, and you're actually talking through how to resolve it. Communication is one of the biggest challenges, I think, in many relationships, romantic and non-romantic. And so if you have a resource that has the playbook that can help you navigate some of those challenges, why not? Again, for me, it comes back to self-care. And the moment in which I decided to join the Real Love Network was the moment that I decided to put myself first, that I wanted to make parts of my life a priority. Yeah, the dating part, of course, but I realized that I wanted to make a change, and a change for the better. And I am so thankful that the Real Love Network was part of my journey.
Oh my goodness. So now y'all got to come to our married couples retreat. We do a married couples retreat every year. We're going to Antigua this year and
Oh,
it's all mission based. There is no workshops. Every single day you get like just think of all the reality shows. We deliver like a red envelope to you and like we only invite awesome couples and it's just beautiful, right? So that's in April
okay.
29th through like May 4th. Yeah, so we do a married couples retreat, about 11, 12 couples. So it's nothing too
That's
crazy.
nice.
So, like, because I know,
Intimate.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Sometimes folks, especially men, they're like, who we going where? With what? So everybody's been vetted. It's all really good folks. So just transitioning through your grief, right? So you lost
Yeah.
your mom. Like, what was that like? Because, I feel like some ladies, they put their love lives on hold because they have to caretake or they have ailing parents or they have many things going on. So what was that like having to balance, showing up for your man and showing up for your mom?
And I actually, lost my father last year and lost my mother this year. So it's been quite a transition, and I'm actually having a hard time this week, probably because it's close to the holiday. But I will say that it helped to have a partner who was patient. It helped to have a partner who, as I mentioned before, he had a very close relationship with my mother. And so he actually became helpful. So when my mother used to like chicken legs. So when he learned that, he would go to the store and get big pack of chicken legs, season them, package them, so that all my sister or I had to do was drop it in the pot and make like 4 chicken wings at one time. So that may sound small, but that was huge in terms of saving time, but also making it easier for us to make sure that she had something to eat. And so he cooked for her because he's a cook. He's the cook. Um, thank God he's the cook. And so he would actually cook meals for her. Thanksgiving, he knew that she wanted stuff. My mother loves stuffing, so made the whole Thanksgiving dinner for her. Even brought the cranberry sauce. And so just like I needed to love on my mother, he did too. And so it was very helpful to have a partner that was supportive and not in competition. Because we both know that can happen. And I was concerned about that, but that never emerged for us. He was truly a helpmeet before he got the official title. But but he helped me, he helped us to care for my mother. And now that we're like, we're in a different season now. We both are, grieving my mother. Me probably more than him because she and I were very close. And he said, I don't have any tattoos, but the other day he said, well, why don't you get a tattoo? Because that's like a lasting reminder of how important your mother is to you. And I said, maybe. I've never wanted a tattoo, but I said, maybe. And then he said, I'll get the same one with you. So I thought that was nice. I don't know if I'm going to get the tattoo, but it was just the act of how can I support Stacie in this moment without telling her she's going to be okay? Because we know she's going to be okay. But in this moment, my wife is about to fall down crying over her mother. But that cheered me up. It made me feel loved. It made me feel supportive. And that's so important to me, especially at this season of life.
This is just beautiful. Is there anything I didn't ask that you would like to share?
I would just tell every woman out there to just hang in there. Yes, we get tired. Yes, we get frustrated. But I would just say hang in there. Why? Because at the end of the day, we know that not everybody you meet is going to stay in your life. Sometimes it's just an introduction. I took breaks too. I took breaks too. But I ultimately knew that I wanted love and companionship. And I knew that I couldn't get that if I stayed on break. So I would just take a break. At one point, it was 6 months, and I realized, oh, I haven't been on a date. Oh my goodness, I got to get back out there, and I would get back out there. But I think once I really understood that not everybody that I dated would be a relationship. Sometimes it's just friendship, and that's it, and that's okay. And once you figure out that a person is not for you, let it go. Don't waste your time. Do not waste your time. Time is precious.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, that is so good. I was just like, oh my goodness, Stacey's getting married. She should. If I did cartwheels, I would have did a cartwheel. You know what I mean? I did a cartwheel. My heart leapt with joy, and so I'm just excited that you have identified, and God has brought you an amazing man that honors you and the wanted woman that you are and deserve to be treated as. And, it's just beautiful to see you with this smile on your
Yeah.
face. And which sorority are you a part of, Stacie?
The first and the finest. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. Ski-wee.
Then the finest. Oh Lord have mercy. Okay.
Will you send me information on the marriage retreat?
Yes,
Is
I
it
will
out? Is
definitely.
it out yet or
Yeah,
no?
yeah, yeah. It's
Okay.
ultimatecouplesretreat.com. Yeah, so
Okay.
that's the marriage retreat. Yes, girl, we have a good time. So I'm just excited. One of the things the ladies were saying is that you should come down to Wanted Woman Live and share your story at our event. So you
Yeah.
tell me if you're available. It's the first weekend in October in Fort
Okay.
Lauderdale. So you tell me
Okay.
if you're available to come on down and share your story, because at the end of the day, it's still in the heart of hearts of all most women, it's what they want, right? We
Yeah.
definitely say that it's so much more than this, but it's still exciting to hear your story, and like of a mature age, and you got a real job. You know what I mean? It's not like you was here twiddling your thumbs, because there's so many excuses that women have. Oh, I'm too busy, I have this next goal, I have these things, I have ailing parents, I have my sorority meetings, like we make up all time. The sky is blue, Coach Cass. I can't date when the sky is blue. So it's just we make up all these
Yeah.
excuses. So it's just beautiful to be able to hear honestly from someone who has walked the path and like didn't make it an excuse, but made it a stepping stone, and now in the place that you are, to have a man that honored your mom and, is there to grieve alongside you. I think that's so beautiful. Like that's an important part of the story because, we're so concerned about grieving alone. But what if you were here to have somebody to hold your hand through it, to have a
Yeah.
shoulder, right? Like that's just beautiful. Simply,
Yeah.
simply beautiful.
Yeah. I just could not have asked God for anything different. So,
Mm.
yeah.
I'm so excited. Ah.
Yeah. Yeah. Hopefully, I'll mention it to him. Hopefully, we can come down and maybe we'll make it a pre-anniversary trip because we got married on October 19th.
That's so beautiful. October weddings are the best. My anniversary is on the 18th, so I'm here for it.
Oh, really?
Yes,
Okay.
I'm here for
Yeah.
it. So let's see this ring again. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
Wait, how do I do that?
Ooh, girl. Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah.
And he picked that out
Yes.
himself.
Yes. Yes.
Ooh, that's
Yes.
nice. That's
Hmm.
nice. Okay.
I mean, he had an idea what I liked.
Hmm.
So, and then he went shopping. So,
Oh,
yeah.
yes, yes, yes. All right,
Yeah.
Stacie girl. And you're in Jersey. Where are you?
I'm in Jersey.
You're in Jersey. You're in
Yeah.
Jersey. All right, my love.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you so
so,
much.
so your self-care dates you were doing before y'all got married. So he knows you go on them.
He does. He does. But I think
He
will I
expects you to
continue?
invite him.
No, maybe not, because he doesn't mind being home, but will they continue? I just need
Mm,
to, yeah, just
yeah.
yeah. I plan to continue this practice. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Hmm.
That's how I feel
I
about the
found
cleaning lady.
I found that they were a lifeline, like just knowing that, and again, this was through caring for two older parents along with my sister, and both my parents ultimately transitioned, but learning, to set aside time for myself. And it wasn't just a nail appointment or a pedicure. Like these are things that I came to love and enjoy. My last self date was learning how to make a floral arrangement. So
I love it.
just
Yes.
finding new hobbies and exploring, if you will. Exploring. Like, what do I like? Museums, going to the museum. Hmm.
Oh, I got a question. So then, Stacie, you being the head of a department, you sometimes have to be really strong, right? Living
Yeah.
in masculine, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then, how do you get in your feminine for your husband?
How do I get in my bed? Well, I'm home then, so there's to turn it off. I think I would actually, didn't we discuss this in,
Real Love Network, yeah.
yeah, I feel like we talked a lot about femininity and embracing it. And I think over time it became a lot of who I was. So turning it off, turning it on, I don't think that's something that I am challenged with. I think because it's become part of who I am. You know what I
Mm,
mean? I mean, I like, no, I ain't picking up no box. No. Mm-mm. Come over here and help me lift this box here. Asking for help.
mm,
Asking for help instead of trying to do things myself. So those are things that, yeah, I think over time I learned to embrace rather than try to prove to the world that I, just have to be. I know I don't have to be strong. This week I am struggling. I miss my mother.
that's really good. That's
Yeah.
really good. All right, sis. I'll let you go ahead with the rest of your self care day. Well, it sounds like you're at work, so but you know what I'm saying. But
Yeah.
thank you for taking the time for just honestly sharing your journey with us. And I pray that it really blesses someone in listening. And
Thank you. I'll talk to
happy
you soon.
holidays. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
She's a wanting woman standing in her truth, a soft heart with a seasoned view. No more settling, no more cries. She shows up whole, no disguise. Wanted a woman, yes, she's the prize. Peace in her soul, no compromise. When love's the base, then all aligns. She's a wanting woman, it's her time.